Okay, everybody, as we move on to 12.4, we're going to talk about these things called box and whisker plots. And you are going to learn how to make them and what they mean when we have a set of given data. So what I did is I went to your last quiz scores, not your ones from chapter 11. I think these are actually your these are your homework check scores from chapter 10. And I put them in order. So somebody got a 0, somebody got a 15, somebody got a 16, so on and so forth. And you can see over here 3 people got 30s. And I made a box and whisker so I could try to explain what a box and whisker is. You have 4 parts to a box and whisker. You have the first part here, where you plot the lowest number, and then you plot this number called quartile 1. I will show you what that means. And then you plot the median, so the middle number right there, which happened to be 25. And if you did that, if you went through the middle of these numbers, 25 would be right in the middle. And then I will teach you how to find quartile 3. In this case, it was 28. And the highest number, which was scored on the homework thing, was a 30. So the interquartile range of a box and whisker, that's a key word phrase there, and you will see that on the keystones. I'm going to write the word keystone here so you know you will see it on the keystones. You take the 2 ends of the boxes minus each other. So you'll take 28 minus 20. So in this case, the interquartile range is 8. Now I want to explain this a little bit. Each of these sections, can you see how there's 1, 2, 3, 4 sections? Each of those 4 sections represents 25% of the total. So 25% of these numbers fall between my fingers. 25% of these numbers fall between my fingers. 25% of these numbers falls here, and the top 25% of the class falls within here. That means any 2 sections represents 50%. So if I ask for the top 50% of people, that would be from here, the middle, all the way to the tippy top. They're weed whacking outside. I don't know if you can hear that, but if you can, I apologize. I'll just pause the video and wait till they're done. Moving on to problem 1. It's time for you to make your own box and whiskers. In fact, we're not even going to make a box and whiskers. I'm just going to teach you how to find all these values that they're asking for. I did put these in order for you, so it might be important for you to write that they have to be in order if I don't put them in order. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different things. Just wanted to double check. So we have 11 different things. What we're going to do is we're going to say that the minimum value, maybe this is a set of quiz scores, I don't know. The minimum value is a 60. That one was pretty easy to find, right? And now we're going to say that the highest or the maximum value is a 105. Those are pretty easy to find, weren't they? Now the next easiest one to find is the middle number, the median. Well, the median, like we learned yesterday, is just the middle number. So let's see, I'm going to cross off, let's see, I'll do 1, 2, 3 on this side, 1, 2, 3 on this side. 1, 2 on this side, 1, 2 on this side. My middle number is 85. Now, those were easy to find. I want to teach you about this thing called the quartile 1. I'll give you a second to copy that down. The quartile 1 is the middle of the first half. Now, we already used 85. So we're not going to use 85 to describe our first half. In order to do this, we just have to find the middle of this stuff over here. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Quartile number 1 is 75. It's the middle of the first half of numbers. Next, let's do that over here for quartile 3. I'll give you a second to write that down. Quartile 3 is the middle of the top half. So 1, 2, 1, 2. The middle of the top half is 95. And that's how you find your different quartiles. I think I also want to tell you, though, that the median, that is another name for quartile 2. If you notice, we went from quartile 1 to quartile 3. That's because the median is technically also quartile 2. Let's move on. We'll interpret this more in a few problems. Problem number 2. The table shows the times of 9 runners in a 200-meter race. We have 9 people. What box and whisker plot represents the data? So we do have to put this in order. Let's see here. So I've got 32. Oh, there's a 30. So 30, then 32. 33, 34. I see another 34 hiding. 35, 36. This is kind of annoying when we have to put them in order, isn't it? But that's okay, we'll be fine. 38 and 40. Okay, now that we have them in order, we need to find, for a box and whiskers, we need to find the low, or the minimum. So I can see very clearly the lowest number is 30. Now I'm going to find the highest, the maximum. The maximum is pretty easy to find, it's 40. Median. Find the median. The median is, let's see, let's go into the middle. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, and I see the middle number is 34. We can't touch that number again. So I'm going to kind of do this so I don't try to touch it again. Now I'm going to find the first quartile. Quartile 1. That is the middle of the first half of numbers. So when we look at this first half, you might be kind of like, well, where's the middle? Because if I cross off 1, 2 and 1, 2, I don't have a middle number. So it's the average of these. So 32 plus 33 divided by 2, the middle number would be 32 and a half. That is your quartile 1. Now do the same thing on the back half. 2 on that side, 2 on this side. I don't have a middle. So the in between of 36 and 38 would be 37. So that is quartile 3. Everybody make sure you have these written down. Now we're going to put a box and whiskers on a number line. I have a minimum of 30 and a maximum of 40. So if I count by 5s, that would be way too big. I'm going to count by, do I have 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to count by 1s. So 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, just like a normal number line. Fill it in, please. And if you're noticing the kids are copying this kind of like slowly, have them pause the video and make sure they keep up with me, please. So put a dot at 30, like right here. Put a dot at 32.5. Put a dot at 34. Don't criticize my dots. Put a dot at 37. And put a dot at 40. Now, draw your whiskers. Now, draw your box. and you have made a box and whisker plot of your data. 25% of your runners finished between 30 and 32 and a half. 25% of your runners, look how kind of tight squeezed they are in here. This was a really close-knit group. I'm going to write that. This is a really close group. See how tight it is? So 25% of them finished between 32 and a half and 34. 25 fit in here, and 25% fit in there. So if you could like line the people up, you would put 25% of people here, 25% of people here, 25% of people here, and 25% of people there. Okay? And there would be the middle person right there at 34. All right, we are going to practice that one more time. I know these take a while, so just be patient. We'll get through it. What box and whisker plot represents the following monthly sales in millions of dollars of audio devices? All right, did I put it in order for you? Lucky you. This is already in order. I must have been getting sick of trying to do it myself. All right, so we have to find the lowest sale. Well, the lowest sale was, well, I'm actually going to move this over because it's kind of going to get messy if I don't. The lowest sale, the minimum was 20. The highest sale, the maximum, was 40. And then I always like to do the median, or the middle one, next. The minimum, or the median, the median amount is, let's see, 1, 2, 3 that side, 1, 2, 3 that side. I gotta average these together to get my median this time. We didn't have to do that in the previous problems, did we? So if I do 20 plus 26, and I divide that by 2, that's 46 divided by 2. So 46 divided by 2 is 23 is my median. So 23. I had to find the middle of those two numbers. So that kind of breaks my data in half here. I can't use this 23 because I already used it. Now, the middle of the first half here. Oh, we got 4 numbers. There's no middle of 4 numbers. So I'm going to have to go 1, 2, 1, 2. It's between these. So I would do 15 plus 19 and cut that in half. So 15 and 19 is 34. 34 cut in half is 17. That is my quartile 1. And let's do the same thing for my quartile 3. So I have 2 numbers on this side, 2 numbers on this side. So I have to average these together. Boy, there's a lot of averaging in this one. 27 plus 33 over 2. So that is 60 over 2. So that would be 30 is my quartile 3. Please make sure you have all of those done. All right, guys, I just realized that I had made a mistake. And I had 20 here for my minimum. That was really silly of me because clearly the minimum is 12. So we have to talk about our number line now. I have to go from 12 to 40. I would think if I count by 5s, I'm probably pretty safe. I'm going to start at 10 and just double check if it's going to fit. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. That will fit. I don't think I could count by 2s. That would be too much. I could count by 3s. That wouldn't be terrible. I'm going to do that. I'm going to count by 3s. I think that might work. So if I do 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, I hope it's going to fit, 30, 33, 36, 39, it is going to fit, 42. So I counted by 3s on my number line. I just like to utilize the entire number line, so that's why I counted by 3s and not by 5s. Put a dot at 12. Put a dot at 17. My substitute, if I'm going too fast for my kids to keep up, please push pause and have them catch up to where I am. 23, 30, and 40 would be like right here. Okay. Now that we have all the different values on here, connect your whiskers. Make your box. And there's your box and whisker. So you can see this 25%, even though there's the same amount of like sales in there, that's a really more spread out than the bottom portion there. And I don't know, it is what it is. So you can, as long as you are getting this idea that this These have the same amount of items in them, but this one's a lot more spread out than that one right there. All right, let's keep going. Now we're going to examine a box and whisker and like ask questions about it. So let's see, we have species A and species B. I don't know what, we're talking about how long a certain species is in centimeters. All right, let's see. Which species, oh, it's a snake, has a greater range in average height or average length. So when I look at the range of A is the top number. So what is that? That like 105 right here, minus the bottom number of, I don't know, it's like 50 something, maybe like 52-ish. And then I look at the range of B. You probably don't even need to write numbers down. You can probably visually see it. That's like, I don't know, 99-ish and 55-ish. 99 minus 55. But no matter what, even if you didn't know the numbers, you can see the range of A is a much greater span. See how it's longer from the bottom to the top? So A has the greater average length of the range of the average length. The range is bigger. It's a lot more spread out. Part B. What species has a greater interquartile range? So we are looking from this part of the box to this part of the box. So which one has a bigger overall box? Well, when I look at the interquartile range, I can see this box is bigger. So that's going to be species B. They have a greater range of their interquartile range. Just the interquartile range, not the overall range.